Hopefully y'all can hear me okay. I don't know if I need my headphones or not. Hopefully y'all can just bear with me. I like these better sometimes than showing my face. Because it's like an audio recording. This is about, this is not really entertaining purpose only, but only those who believe, believe. And believe me, I see you ascending, you have ascended, and you have arrived at your destination in your future, where you need to be. Hello, welcome on in. So, this video is about Master of the Divine. Peace, peace, welcome on in. Sorry you can't see me, Elite Spiritual Connection. I like your name, by the way. Next live, you guys are gonna see me. Sometimes I like to do audio, sometimes I like to do visual. I'm going through a quantum transitioning with my physical appearance. So, which I'm gonna talk about that too. How your appearance is gonna affect you and your spirituality. Just know spirituality is not an aesthetic, it is a lifestyle, it is a choice. It's something you can't turn into religion or have rules. You know what I mean? It's free will. It's learning to be free within your own creation. Some people, they gotta be stuck where they're at in a dimension that they came from in order to like see what their reality truly is. Who is I am? Who is the master of you? And I'm learning on my journey as well, especially with manifestation, using clairvoyance and the gift of sight, seeing by sight or seeing by feeling. Welcome on in. I don't know what you're saying, Stephanie, but hi. Sorry y'all can't see me. It's an audio recording today. If y'all subscribe, you'll see me every now and then. I'll pop in, I'll pop out. But this is your time of why you're questioning how everything is happening to you. It's through the quantum physics, it's through the quantum field, it's through your vibration alone, what you desire your reality is. It's like the universe or God, if you believe in God, or if you believe you are God, you are the image of God, is really, you won't have, it's like having amnesia during this time when you are like transitioning or when you're making everything complete in your life. But there are some people who are conscious, aware of the God energy within them, so they're able to express what they want to express in real time to teach others. And you'll get there eventually. You already are there. Some of you already are. It's still quite a few people in this world who haven't really ascended yet, or even realized that this is a spiritual reality. This is when you come to it. So I'm not really trying to focus on them. I've been focused on all of us who are already there and who has the knowledge already, because I don't want to keep going back to the beginning. But if you need to understand how your beginning was beginning, I can really explain that. It's more than just trauma. It's more than just you desiring a life that you wanted. because you saw something in your old life. Well, God or the divine presence of you, the divine master of you, gave you a picture of a real true reality that is matching your vibration. And along the way, along the journey, you have to lose part of who you thought you were, the projected version of you, the projected. And this is where duality consciousness had split you apart. It wasn't your consciousness or yourself, it was ego separating from spirit, and you stopped judging everyone, you stopped judging yourself, you stopped judging the universe, you stopped judging God, or you stopped judging the God within you, you stopped judging the divine master within you, and you let everything flow into Kamakura. Hi, so, welcome, uh, Gamer Cat Channel. That's a weird name, but I know you can't see me. I'm just doing audio recording. Just bear with me. If you feel like you need to watch back after this live, if you miss some information, feel free. This will always be up here. But I like it, so I'm not judging it. I like it. I just never seen that before. But welcome on in. You guys are here early. Let me know what time it is on your side. It's 8:58 a.m. on my side. On Saturday morning. I got work today, like usual. That's why I didn't want to come up here and show myself, because I'm only going to be in my uniform. The past couple of weeks, I've been quantum jumping into my future timeline, so I've been dressing the way that I saw myself in the vision. It's kind of scary, but at first, you're like, am I supposed to do this? Is this wrong? Like, no, you're supposed to do that. Not only that, when you start dressing like your timeline and start acting in your frequency, like food and habits would start to change. I mean, my habits kind of stayed, but it's okay because there's a reason for them. It's what connects me to my ancestors, what connects me to God, and in the universe, or to God within myself, telling me I don't necessarily have to give up pleasure. It makes me me. Cause like I like to smoke. I like to smoke weed, and smoking weed is like it's an Anunnaki treat. It's like this is how they connect themselves back to their roots, back to their memories. But oh yeah, speaking of memories, my memories of my past life kept going. It never fully stopped. It just some some parts of my version of myself didn't see myself at 30. Like I knew I was supposed to die at a young age with my near-death experience. I was supposed to die before that, but somehow the divine master within me was like, you know, you need to live. There's something special about you, and your story will tell the world, or you know, your story will help you heal yourself by telling it. And because like I didn't see myself become a YouTuber, become a tattoo artist, or working somewhere in New York. And my other job, it's just a job. It's not a big ass career, but I'm thankful for it to be back in that timeline, because at that time, that's the knowledge I gained access on my own. Well, not on my own, through the helps of my ancestors. Like they taught me about how to train my mind and train my mind and my dream before I wake. And during those times, I was quantum leaping so the hell out of my life. So that was a perfect timing. And now I'm here to teach you guys about quantum jumping, quantum leaping, quantum physics, like all of the above. Because I consider this as being a time traveler in a way, but like in real time. Just using the matrix time to travel to your destiny or whatever. It's hard to explain. It really is. And it makes me feel weird that I know these stuff. So like there's gonna when you come to your awakening, like in the beginning, you're gonna feel like out of place. Like you don't belong here. Like there's something wrong with you. Or there's nothing wrong with you. You're just highly intelligent. And then the people who are in a different dimension underneath you is they're gonna assume they're gonna graduate eventually when they get their spiritual awakening, which is painful to watch other people's spiritual awakening, but also exciting. It's just that their story of how they got to their spiritual awakening, you're not comparing it to yours, you're just analyzing, like, okay, we all kind of went through this whole shifting thing. Because at first, it was just you and your ancestors following their vision, but now after a certain age, like say a certain ancestor didn't make it to a certain age, but you did, now you get to have like the key, the blueprint of just having your own vision, of driving your own life. And this is the time where you're in amnesia, like you're sleeping consciously, but you're awake at the same time. When you are praying something long enough, there is a being, which is the divine master of you, that comes down from the sky, comes down from below, and in between, that helps you get connected into this timeline. Like, you think we're doing this all on our own, like starting over our life, making money, making friendships, seeing people, getting connected. It's not just you alone. It's everybody else, ancestors guiding them towards you directly. It's how they're doing it is through the astral world. It's through your dream state when you are aware enough consciously to remember your dreams. The more you remember it, the more you can remember your true reality, your true desire. It's up to you to make that desire. Like, set aside of funds. If you don't have a job, if you don't have a way of making multiple dimensional income, there's going to be a version of you that does. But in order to have that version of you who is already abundantly or healthy, wealthy, and all that spiritual stuff, it's you who gotta jump through that portal. The old version of you has to be a willing, an alignment with that version of you that's already abundant. But there's a thing that certain people don't tell you, certain spiritualists don't tell you about you. What happens during that moment of transitioning, there's another fall. But that fall is a good fall. That fall is what you call a breakthrough. It's something, it doesn't separate you from your old self and your new self. It actually brings all versions of you together. Like right now, like for me, I'm all versions of myself, whether I see it or not. But I do see it from time to time. I tend to ignore it because I don't want to keep it, I don't want my energy to keep focusing on that particular space when there's so much more than just separating yourself, putting yourself back together, starting all over and starting into new. Because the reason why certain manifestation like didn't happen the way it was supposed to happen for you is because that version of you wasn't ready yet. It's not about getting rid people or changing the people or having approval from the people for you to live a certain way. It was you getting ready to be in a stage of I am, the I am consciousness, the I am knowing. So you have to like experience some shit, like you really did. Some of us went homeless. Some of us lost people, places, and things. We have to relocate, and this relocation is the spark. There was a mini spark in the beginning for you to relocate and you to keep moving forward. But now that you're in it and you're seeing all your manifestation happening, is because you've done the work. You look at yourself in the mirror, all mirrors in all worlds. You didn't let things stop you. You did the what ifs. And when these adolescents came up again, you didn't, you saw an old version of you that stepped up and said, hey, I got this. And that old version of you that didn't pass that lesson in the beginning in the first place now has done it in this lifetime. Now that lesson won't reoccur unless you want to reincarnate it back here. We all will eventually again. But the next life will be so difficult to not remember your old life. We live multiple lives every day. We're always constantly reincarnated every day, physically, mentally, emotionally. And sometimes what we feel on the inside tend to express itself on the outside. So we're gonna look a little different, feel a little different, act a little different. Some people can see it, some people can't. And those who are blind, let them walk blindly. It's not that they're blind or they don't want to confront you that they see you woke. Is that your light is too bright because of that spark. Well, they created it. They don't own it. They were just involved with your vision. They don't own your vision. They don't own your reality. They can have a part of it if you choose to, but they can't have everything you're about to access in your life. This lifetime, this is the one that you truly remember. This is the one that you're forever going to remember. Because one part of you thinks, well, I only live one time. I only live one life. You live multiple lives within one life. So this is going to be the lifetime that you remember. If you choose to sit on your ass all day and not be in the field of your own creation, you think that God or the divine version of you is just going to, alright. Sometimes it happens. It does, but just know when you see the signs of yourself, these spiritual signs, these numbers, time, these are codes to levels of dimension you have visited, you have seen. It's a lot. At first you're not going to handle it. Then once you get in the hang of it, of driving your own will and understanding that you are God. You're God himself. You're the universe yourself. Not the sky daddy, not the matrix daddy. You are actually a divine daddy, a divine mother, a divine spirit. Okay? Not the one that's been programmed into people mind to have rules over their morals. There is no rules when it comes to morals or desires. there's always going to be consequences through your desire, through your action, whether it's good or bad. Karma, you know what I mean? Take it as it is, because you're going to enjoy everything that the Master Divine has to offer. And if you're listening, you heard someone say we can't play God and victim at the same time. Yes, that's true. You can't be ego and you can't be spirit at the same time. I've done that so many times. It drives you nuts. There's a reason. Because it puts you in a mental box. It puts you back in the first dimension. When you already ascended, when you already know what you know, when you're already so close to being I am, and then you fallen. But this is a good fallen though. That statement that you made, spiritual connection, that's very true. You can't play victim and blame the God version of you, or blame a God, or blame something outside of you that's operating within you to help you, and be a victim of what you asked for, what you prayed for. Be careful what you pray for. And that's why I always say, dream a better dream, so that way you know the path that you are taking, you know the consequences, and everything. Because everything, it aligns itself for a reason. And I gotta say, I've been kind of proud of myself, even through the ugliness, or when I don't get my full vision. It's okay, but at least I get to experience. Because the thing is, when you get visions, they don't tell you how long you can have that timeline. It's up to you to keep creating within that timeline, to keep that timeline. You don't be in the same timeline. Once you start a new job, you stay at that job. You keep continuing. You create around that job. You don't let that job or that space identify your reality. Like, this is all you do. Go to work, come home, go to sleep, repeat. And that's the part I'm going to have to break out of myself when I get into my new place. Speaking of my new place, I'm moving soon. Just bear with me. That's why I've not been up here. I've been working constantly. And it's a process. But it's a good process. I don't hate nothing about it. It's gaining knowledge. I'm doing this all over again. But yeah. When you're in that space, in that time, in that frequency, the best thing to do is just enjoy it, embrace it, love it, care for it, nurture it, because you planted that seed in your mind and your consciousness. You can't say it's something outside of you. It's that something outside of you, whether you see it physically, like a physical spirit, like out of the corner of your eye, type shit. Like, I can see spirits. Everybody can. It's just, that's still a version of you. It's so hard to explain why that version of you is coming to you. Talk to it. Start communicating to it and be like, why are you here? What do you want? But don't ask basic. It's not a basic spirit. You're not a basic bitch. So just ask the most craziest thing. Better yet, just say, show me. Show me who you are. Show me I am. Watch what it shows you of your desire. Because that first spirit that comes to you is the first version of you. Or, well, you don't know which version of you until you ask. When I did it, the first version of me that first died came to me. And it was like, you know you have a mission complete. You know you need to finish this, or continue this, or recreate this. Look what we did. And I'm like, okay, you're unsatisfied. You have unfinished business. So now I must help this version of me with the unfinished business. And that's what we've been doing. We think we're doing this for our ancestors. We're really doing this for ourselves. It's just certain ancestors are playing tricks on us by pretending to be a version of us that we already know to keep us going. It's scary sometimes. I'd be like, why are you doing that? I'd be like, no. But then I end up agreeing, and they send me on requests. Like New York was the most biggest request. Now there's more requests within requests, which I've been completing half of it. There's more to come after decision, because I'm just like, you guys are gonna see a whole different side of me. Like, you're gonna see everything. You have been seeing everything from the moment I became homeless. Before I was homeless, I was living inside of a bubble. I was being controlled by family members who couldn't even control their own vision or their own desires, and they was trying to like keep me from my own desires and my own vision. And I was just locked up in a room from the time I was about 5 years old till I was about like 14, 20. And then even when I first left at the age of 20, I got my first job at 20, and I've been working ever since then. I wasn't allowed to work at 16, 17, which was weird. Now I figure out why, because they would get mad every time I would step outside of their vision, what they have for me in life. And when I looked at everybody else that they was guiding, I was like, wait a minute, how come? This was just the beginning of my stage of before my awareness. This was like epiphany in a way, like how come my cousins get to live a better life than I do? How come they get to graduate, go to college? I graduated high school, I just never went to college. Got their car, got a driving license, got a job, and we was all around the same age. And then that's when I started studying like spirituality and stuff like that. Not just studying, it's just remembering. Because they thought isolating me would bring me down. But it was the best thing I ever done. And now that I'm in the field of my creation, it's like, it's something to be proud of. And it's nothing to be ashamed of. Like, I'm not ashamed for my past. I'm ashamed of my reaction, yes, to narcissism. I wish I could redo that. Like, certain things that I used against myself to get them to stop, or like just dumb shit that I said as a teenager that I put in my subconscious that I had to get rid of as an adult. And it took about like 3-5 years within my adult years to undo the program, the damage from what they was telling me, what I was going to be, who I was going to become, and me telling other people the same shit. Like, I used to tell my niece, like, yo, you're not going to have any friends, you're going to be homeless, and the verses in return, it was like a destiny swap. But it all works out because I'm doing what I desire at the age of 16 and 20 when I saw myself in my 30s. But to me, for me, when I did it, it felt like a week and a month and a half versus those times that I thought about it. Because I had, my ancestors, the divine team gave me the resources on how to get everything. Like my mom and them, they didn't teach me anything about spirituality. They didn't teach me anything about financial freedom. Instead, they kept me in the matrix box of what they created. But then again, that's also our creation, the chaos. chaos is a spark to our imagination. And yes, I live halfway out of my imagination. And it started off when I was about 22. And then from 22 to 24, it was I think that was like my fifth or sixth shift. And that kept wanting me to be in this timeline, kept wanting me to be in New York. I kept following the signs. And some of you are craving for a new beginning. I say go for it. Live it. And I'm here to help you, to guide you on how to get housing, financial help, insurance and stuff like that if you feel like your family taught you wrong or didn't teach you at all. Because I had to learn on my own. I didn't learn this in school. I didn't learn this from my parents. My mom taught me like how to fill it out or whatever, but she didn't show me like where to go and shit like that. And I think my ancestors for that. Actually, I think the universe for that, because there was a moment in time where I didn't know how to do nothing. I did not know how to escape from this old life that I had. You'll get it. You're getting it in dreams. You're getting it in visions. You just gotta pay attention to the I am, to the divine master of you. So when you pay attention to it, it shows up in all types of color, and the people come across your life are kind of like here to guide you too, or to help, guide, help too. Yeah, it's all a matter of time till you see yourself exactly where you need to see yourself. It just, I never passed 30. It's weird. So now I gotta create myself more and more. It's weird. But anyway, I'll come back for